Hey, this is Christian Rodriguez.
And this is James Gardner.
And welcome to the Casual Conversation Station, where this week we get real on your asses.
Yo, bitch asses. Thank you for listening.
So listen up to what we say. No one else will do it this way. It's time for Casual Conversations.
All right, so here we go again, coming back at you with episode 9.
In harmony. That was nice,
man, I like how we did that. That was kind of cute.
Low-key, high-key sexy.
That was super cute.
Yeah.
That was kind of gave me half chub.
I have a full-on chub.
Okay, well, I wasn't going there, but
full?
yeah.
No. Yeah, it's
Well, I mean, it's
chub.
kind of little, so like when you go half chub, it
that's-
might look like a full chub. How's your wife doing, by the way?
You talking about the wife that Ron banged?
Well,
Are you talking about that wife? Or yes.
yeah,
Are you? Yeah.
I mean,
She's.
well, you
cut.
you know. I thought you didn't know Ron.
Cut.
What?
Ron, you're not talking about this on the podcast. Are you kidding me?
I thought we were open. I thought this was open podcast.
It is an open podcast. Yes, we're casual, but don't talk about my wife. And
Yeah,
Ron.
but I asked you how your wife was doing, and you said, "Oh, the one that Ron's banging." I didn't say that. That was you. So
you can say I'm a little tired out about it. Okay,
Well,
I'm tired
okay.
up about it.
Okay.
It's not going well.
Okay.
Damn.
How are you doing?
How am I doing?
Yes.
I'm doing fine.
Okay. Doesn't sound like it, but I was just trying to check in with you because this is like week 9. I just turned 28 years old. I am not feeling good about that.
You just turned 28 years old?
Yeah.
You did. You really did.
Yeah.
You did. You're 28 as fuck,
I'm
huh?
28 as fuck, yeah. And
That's
you
old.
got married before me, and
Uh-huh.
so yeah, I was just trying to check in with you.
Yeah, so my marriage is doing really well, okay? So but please don't ask any more questions about
That's
it.
it. Just
It's doing really well. Go fuck yourself. And that's it.
do you have 5 fireplaces now, or
I have 6.
okay? Okay. So welcome to the Casual Conversation. I wasn't even trying to make you mad. I literally was just trying to like, I was trying to start this off more friendly. I was just like, hey, how you doing? How's your wife doing? Because I haven't heard how she's been in a while. We kind of
I
been.
haven't either. What's up?
Okay.
What?
So we're gonna go ahead and move on.
Cut.
I wanted to talk to you about something.
Yo, what's up, dude?
So I thought this would be kind of funny. Bring up a story. I've been kind of wanting to tell. It literally only kind of came back into my mind probably about a week or 2 ago.
About a week ago.
So there's this song I
Yeah.
used to love when I was a kid. Love it. Remember the thong song by Sisqo?
Dong. No.
Make the way the bee goes. Make
He-
the booty go.
He was the only. I can say this. You can't. He's the only nigga who could pull off the silver thing on his hair. I have not seen that since.
From
And
Minnesota.
That's. I did not know that.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Where in Minnesota?
I think he's around in this area. I think he still lives here. To be
He sounds
honest
like
with
from Wayzata.
you. Yeah. Why is that?
Coon Rapids.
Okay, you can. Yeah. Okay.
Chanhassen.
Yeah, Chanhassen.
All right, we'll step on
That's Prince.
Chanhassen.
That's Prince's territory. You don't step on
Oh,
Prince's
yeah, he's
toes.
not there.
Even though
He's
he's
south.
dead, you don't step
He's
on Prince.
south.
No one's ever going to come on.
Farmington, Minnesota.
Yeah.
Sisqo. Dong.
Oh, make it with the
Dong,
beat
dong,
goes. Make the booty show.
I don't know if he
so
died. Okay, good.
he's not dead.
Story.
He's not dead.
No, I don't know if he dyed his hair gray
Absolutely. Yes.
or he just like paint. Cause I don't know if he had hair. Was he bald?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Because he could have just painted his his
Just
scalp
silver?
gray.
No.
You
It was
know?
like a silver, too. It wasn't
Yeah.
gray. It was like silver.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sisqo was doing Sisqo. All right, so let me get...
Down. Go ahead.
Make the way the beat goes.
Down.
Make the booty show. Boy, I just keep... Every time you say it, I'm like... I go to the next verse. God dang it. So, this is a funny story. So, Ashley brought up something the other day where she said something about a thong. And I was like, dun, 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 dun. I was like, oh, shit. I used to love Sisqo. Back when I was like third
Name
grade.
another Sisqo song.
That's what I'm getting into. Unleash the
Oh,
Dragon.
I thought that's his album, huh?
Yeah, no. I don't know what the album's called. Let me look it up real quick.
Look
But
it
no,
up.
that's where my story's going.
Mm.
So, because
Yeah,
I think you're gonna really appreciate this. The album was called Unleash the Dragon. Okay, yeah, the album was called that as well. Did not know that until just looking that up. So yes, funny thing you bring that up. Name another song. So Ashley brought something about a thong the other day, and I was just like, dun 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 dun. And then I was like, oh, Sisqo went hard. I was like, oh man, I loved Sisqo when I was a little kid. I loved him. Loved Sisqo. I was like, I love Sisqo.
Why?
I think the thong song. I don't know. Like, I don't. I think when I saw butts on TV, I was just like, dun 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 dun. And
He gave you that half chub.
well, I was like a little kid, so my penis wasn't even working yet. Because, dude, this literally had to be like third, fourth grade, and I don't even think I was even rocking yet.
Yeah.
I really don't. So let me go on with my story though, please.
Yes. Go ahead.
So, I started thinking about that, and this is the funniest shit. I remember being a little kid playing the thong song on a boombox. But I guess I got to back up a little more.
Dong 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 dong.
Yeah, absolutely. My grandma took me to Sam Goody. Do you remember Sam Goody?
Oh, that's
They're not around. It's a CD store for you
talk
kids.
about a fossil.
Yeah, talk about kids that are listening to this podcast. There used to be stores that sold CDs. Literally, their
I know it
only
sounds
job
outrageous.
sold CDs. Nothing else but CDs. Not vinyl, because I know vinyl's
Yeah,
back
not
in.
record
This is
vintage shit.
CDs were sold out of this one store, and that was the whole.
Imagine that. Okay, iTunes. That's on my phone. Oh, I can't do it on my phone, so I have to go to a store and
buy the album. So I was
all that
obsessed with the thong song. So my grandma took me to Sam Goody, and she bought me Sisqo's "Unleash the Dragon." So.
Yeah.
So, I used to play in the front yard. She had a boombox for me, so I could like be outside blaring Sisqo's song. Dun 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 dun. We used to have this neighbor next to us.
Yeah.
She was in a wheelchair. Very nice lady. And she would like
I bet.
be nice to the kids. I would go over to her house, outside, not inside. And I would like be doing my dancing thong song. I had a whole thing when they would say like dumps like a truck. Guys like what? Baby move but all night long. So when they would say dumps like a truck, right? When they would go dumps like a truck, I would literally get on the concrete sidewalk. I would roll backwards, like do the what do they call that? The
Somersault.
Yeah, but on the ground, like where it's not like.
Cartwheel.
Yeah, somersault cartwheel on the ground where it's like not gonna hurt you. I would do that, like, and then I'd get up, dumps like a truck, and I wish you guys could see me because I'm dancing here, I'm doing a little arm movements.
Gay boy back then.
Yeah, I was getting it. So I had this whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And the only song I liked on the album was the thong song. I think it was song number 1. Hold on, real quick. Let's just check this because this is gonna be very important to the story. Unleash the Dragon. Number one song was Unleash the Dragon. Thong song wasn't until number 8. Okay, so number 8 was my jam, the thong song. But what is number 1? Unleash the Dragon. So
I can't even tell you how this song
oh,
goes.
I know the song by heart. And this is where the story gets bad. So, what did I just say? I used to be outside of my grandma's house with the boombox, playing a song.
Oh, they say the N-word in that song, don't they?
Let me tell the story.
They say the N-word.
So, Unleash the Dragon would be the first song. It's the only other song I know by Sisqo. And I know it by heart. And I used to sing it by heart.
Every word?
Oh, yeah.
All the words.
Outside in my grandma's front yard with the boombox. That song says the N-word.
I thought it did. Oh, I knew it. I never heard the song
More than I think I've ever heard a song say the N-word. It goes,
How's it go?
I'll say, I won't say the N word, but it's like, so think about this. This is like a little, this is why I can get away with it, because I was a little kid. I had no idea what the hell I was saying. But dude, it's like, Unleash the Dragon, N word, you make me, yeah. N word, you make me, yeah. N word, you wanna unleash the dragon. N word, you wanna unleash the dragon. I was outside of my grandma's house, sitting in front of this lady. Mind you, she is
In a wheelchair.
Damn,
dog.
and I'm over here just dancing for her. N-word, you want me? Yeah. N-word, you want me? Yeah. Oh, you gonna make me unleash the dragon? You want unleash the dragon? You see me? Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you just said N-word, then that's fine.
I didn't say N-word. I was.
What'd you say?
I probably didn't actually say the word because I probably didn't know what the word meant. But I was like, it was probably very close. I was probably like, yeah. So, like, Ashley brought that up the other day, and I was like, oh, yeah. And I played that Sisqo song, and I listened to it again. I was like, oh, yeah, dude, Unleash the Dragon. I love that song. I played it, and I was like, and I actually still could remember the majority of the lyrics. And then all of a sudden, the N-word hits, and I was just like, whoa, Sisqo.
I said that?
Well, I was like, Sisqo, calm down. I was like, because, like, he says it kind of quick in the beginning. I was just, all right, well, I probably didn't say that. But then the song starts going. And he's just like, N-word, you hear me? Yeah. N-word, you hear me? I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm like a little, like, 9-year-old out front of my grandma's house just saying this N-word. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And my grandma probably found it as the funniest fucking thing in the world. My grandma wasn't a racist by any means. My grandma was like the farthest thing from a racist, but she liked dirty jokes. And she liked being raunchy and dirty. That's where I think I get a lot of my humor from. The one thing, I don't know if we've ever really talked about this, and this is just as friendships in life. I don't know if I ever really told you much about my grandma, but my grandma meant a lot to me when she passed away. We lived here. I flew home for that. She was someone so special. Like, her personality, she thought the dumbest, funniest things were funny, and they were. Like she would buy toys that, like, when you pulled the pants down, like a little dick came out. Like at thrift store, she thought that shit was hilarious. I remember the one time I was driving home with my mom in the car. We pull up next to my grandma on State Street, and she looks at me, sticks her tongue out, flips me off, says "fuck you," and then drove away. Like, my grandma was just the weirdest little lady ever. And it was so fun. But yeah, so she bought me the album, and she probably heard me saying this. She was like, oh yeah, this is a good one. Because, like, he's not going to get in trouble, but I'm going to enjoy this. And I know she wasn't racist because, like, I think she was one of the stigma, like, because, like, she's old school. Like, she would have grown up through that. Especially coming, she was born
Was she white or Mexican?
She was white, and she was born in Kentucky. So, yeah. But my uncle, my pa, too, World War II vet, they never showed, like, oh, yeah, we don't like that. But I think she just found it funny. She's like, oh, yeah, this little kid's out there singing that.
I told her to just let you go. And just
and I mean, it's a 9-year-old. What are you going to say? Like, oh, you can't say that. I'm going to beat your head. Like, no, you're not. It's a little kid who has no idea what the hell he's saying.
You're also in a wheelchair. Like, you're not going to do anything.
Well, that was that lady, too. And, yeah, she didn't care either. But, it was funny. But she let me sing. She would, like, play the boom. Like, I'd bring it up to her set, and she'd like, yeah. And she would hang out because, like, I think, it was nice that someone was hanging out there because, unfortunately, I don't think her family was around a lot. And yeah, and I would do a dance and she would be like, "Oh yeah, that's so cute." Blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, so the majority of it though was a thong song. My whole dance, I had a whole dance choreographed down to a T to the thong song. Unleash the Dragon was just like every once in a while I'm gonna come outside and spit Unleash the Dragon.
I'm gonna get a little saucy on you.
Like I'm gonna throw down. Like, oh, you remember the thong song? Got a new one. Unleash the Dragon. So I have a good question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
Who is the person in your life that probably impacted you the most?
Ooh, that's a good one. I gotta say my dad.
Really?
Yeah. Like, straight up. Like, he was... I get a lot of my stuff from him as far as, like...
Your dad is a cool
very
guy.
Chill,
He's a very cool guy.
Cool, very relaxed with everything. Like, I pull all that from my dad. I remember...
So, I'm very sorry to interrupt you right now.
Go ahead.
You know what's funny, though, is, like, I've met your dad. Very cool, very chill, very relaxed. But, like, I always thought, like... I don't know, it's cool to hear you say that. I always thought maybe your dad was like very strict behind closed doors, or no?
No, you'd be strict because like
He had to be a dad. He had to do a dad thing.
He's very.
But your dad's really cool. He's a cool dad.
He's very strict. Like it's such a like it's just not even a switch, but just like he knew when to be strict and then when I would fuck
But
up.
I feel
really
like
bad.
you got away with a lot there. But I guess I didn't hang out with you in high school. I hung with you like in the border tier of end of high school until us being adults. So I guess that's where I see the difference. Is like you're just like, well, he's fucking 18 now. I can't really do anything. So
Yeah,
I guess I didn't
that's
see.
why
When
I
I
turned
side.
18, he was like, all right.
He's a
I'll
grown-ass
let you
man.
good, like, do your own thing. Fuck up, you fuck up, you learn it, and all that good stuff. But I remember one thing when I was young, we had our field day. My dad, he was there for field day, and he had to run some event. I forget what it was. It was something to do with water balloons. I remember the teacher stressed like, years previously.
Is this in high school or like grade
This
school?
is like elementary. Like
Okay.
I'm in like third grade. They stress like, hey, don't be throwing these around, like show other kids and all that stuff. Like, hey, whatever. I forget what the event was. I think okay, I remember the event. You had to hold this water balloon in your shirt and like dump it in some bullshit. I remember. Ooh, excuse me. My dad took over that event for that field day, and he was like, I remember at one point in time, he was just there was a straight up full out water balloon fight with all the kids that were there.
and he wasn't supposed to be having one.
No, you just like fuck it, let them have it. They're kids. And I remember the teachers came up to him like, "Oh, what are they doing this, my dad?" "Oh, it's like kids be kids." And the teacher's like, "Okay, true." And the teacher just like left, and they had like he just changed that event to like his own event. It was super fun. But I just remember that lackness, that laxness, that coolness is kind of like, like let people have fun, be super. You don't have to be so stuck up or strict. I really got a lot of that from my dad, and I can even see that now. I hear it all the time. Like, James, why are you so lax? And it's like, oh, that's probably.
And you are literally. I love who you are. Like your
I'm the
personality.
best human being in the world.
Probably.
Yeah, at least top 5.
Besides my daughter, yeah, you might be there.
Fair.
No, but
Fair.
you are, dude. Like your personality blows me away. Like you're always so positive, and I think that unfortunately, maybe you are, hiding skeletons in the closet. And I hope you're not, because you don't even come off to me like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do
I'm
have
so
demons.
yeah, demons. And you really might, and it might be something that me and you've never talked about. But we've gotten very serious with one another, and
If I had demons, you'd definitely be so.
I feel like I would probably
them.
know about it. And, I've been there with some hard shit with you and stuff, but I don't know, man. I think you handle yourself so fucking well. And, yeah, that's awesome for your dad. So I'll spin the question again. Is there anyone that's passed away that's no longer here that maybe made the most influence on your life? Like, because I guess where I'm trying to get, because I want to talk about my grandma a little bit.
Yeah, I feel
And I think she shaped me as the person that I am.
Mm-hmm.
And, I want to hear your side too before I just go ramble for 20 fucking minutes.
I'm trying to think as far as like, unfortunately it gets more and more every day. Like we find out, all these people are passing away, and just hear a name in the news or like a Facebook article. It's like, damn, I knew them. And to be honest, like really, like it's always been something like, oh, that sucks, and I feel for them and their family, but nothing really that what's the word I'm looking for? Nothing really influential, except for one, and that would be my friend Kelsey, that
Yeah.
and
for sure.
Kind of like the same thing with my dad. She was very positive. She could turn it like
and she was, very positive girl.
She could turn it like a really bad situation to something like just like positive, or she knew what the steps to take to overcome all that. And I was just like, and she taught me a lot as far as like how to stay like the brightest person in the room when the room's down, or something like that. To that aspect. So I think she had like a very big influence on that part, and unfortunately she passed away young. She was like 23,
Can I ask you a
24.
question real quick though?
Yeah.
What did Kelsey actually pass away from?
Um,
If I may ask you,
yeah.
because I've always been confused by that a little bit, because I think I have an idea, but I'm honest to God, I'm just not that sure.
It was a blood clot.
Yeah, that's why. Blood
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
It was a blood clot that obviously got way too you got something serious, and you have a blood clot.
My
and still
sister had a
live.
blood clot in her head. I don't know if you know that. Ashton did. Yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah.
died for a while. Yeah, and they got her back.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, she has a. Well, you weren't around back then. Like, you,
Right,
I mean, you
I remember
heard
you
about
telling
it.
me the
Yeah.
story, yeah.
Yep. And if you ever, Ashton has a scar from like here, like obviously you guys can't see it, over her whole like head is literally a scar where they had to do brain surgery on her.
Really?
Yep.
Damn,
Smashed her
dude.
head on a metal slide, going down a slide at a camp.
Damn.
And
dude.
I received the phone call of that.
And I remember that part of it. Like I remember. you
Finish
telling me
yours
that
and
part of it.
I'll tell that a little bit.
That's
So
pretty much it. I mean, honestly, like, as far as influential people go, like, the most person that has an impact on my life that died, passed away would be Kelsey.
You know, what's crazy, not about that, but obviously about Kelsey passing away or anything like that, but what's crazy about like how you saying you always bring up a room and stuff, I feel like you rubbed off on me a little bit in that way, because there's times where I go into work and I'm just loud, I'm being stupid, I'm just like, all right, boom, but I can't bring that in every day, and you, I felt like, brought that in every day, like no matter what, you're just like, even when you fucked up your shoulder, like I'm talking about working with you, you were always just upbeat. Even when you fucked up your shoulder skiing because you were a great skier and you just had that weird wipeout where you destroyed your shit, you're still positive.
Yeah.
He's the worst skier ever. But yeah,
I'm finally now. That was like 3-4 years ago. I'm finally feeling like some back. Like I can crack my. Let me see if this works.
yeah, I hear a noise. I do. Is that your? Yeah. Yeah, you should have gone to the doctor. And
That's my shoulder, dude. And I talked to Devin about it because he's like, I always think Devin's like my medical expert. He's probably like up. Yeah, I mean, he knows more than us, but like I don't know how far
he's not a doctor, but he's definitely. I mean, he's a nurse, so like he knows more than we know.
Yeah.
So
he was like, yeah, so it's probably not gonna affect you for like the short term, which he was right. But he's like, eventually down the line, as far as how it healed, you may. And this is the scariest thing he says. Like, they may have to re-break it so it can heal properly. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm not
awesome. And now you have insurance and stuff, and you haven't even gone back to a doctor to get checked out.
No, it's on my list, and I always push it. Like, it's
because like you don't want to come down to like, hey, we're gonna snap this shit real quick, and then we're gonna fix it.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're just gonna fuck you up. I'm like, all right, that's cool. We're just gonna take.
Sounds awesome. No, but what I was trying to say about work though is like I will go in some days super positive, and I'll just do it because I'm just like it might even be like one of the bad days, and I know it's gonna be like a tough day, and I'm just like fuck this, I'm just gonna go in, be like fuck it, I don't care, woo, yelling, being stupid. But then there's them days, unfortunately, where I'm pissed almost from the get go, and it's not by my employees. My employees are great. It's just normally the situations that are going on in the workplace, it's going to be a stressful day, and I already know it's going to be a stressful day, and I'm just like, God damn it, and I'm mad, and I hate that I get like that, but there's those days where I know it's going to be stressful, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to act stupid and happy, and I'm like, I feel like I get that from James, because I think that's one thing we miss, like from you working with us, is like, you would just come in every day, it's just like, it could be the hardest fucking day of the year, and you're just like yelling, being dumb, and just talking to everyone, smiling.
It was good. I really do miss that, and the people, because
it's not even that though. It's just that I'm talking about your attitude in general, though. It was great. All right, so so just like kind of talking about that and everything. It was like, so I know you're not asking me the question, but my biggest influence is back. I was hoping you're gonna hey, what's your biggest influence in life?
What is your biggest influence in life?
Thank you.
Because I also care about you.
You don't, but and also don't forget. I want to tell my story about my sister with the head thing.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because I said I was going to. But I think we'll go to that first, and then we'll go to that.
All right. Sounds good.
My grandma, and it was just funny, like bringing up that story about her with Sisqo and stuff. It just made me think about her, and loved her to death.
Let's say that I never had the pleasure to meet her, but it sounds like she had a
dude.
really good
I
sense
wish
of
you would.
humor.
I wish everyone could have met her. She, she was one of a kind. One of a kind. My grandpa too, though. My Grandpa Blue. He was something else too. He was a World War II vet, and I'm just gonna tell a random story about him real quick. It's a fucked up story. Super fucked up. And I don't mean to be super fucked up right now. Super fucked up story. But every time I bring him up, I think of the story, and he laughs. So my grandpa Blue was a World War II vet, Navy. He was actually in People's Magazine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty tight, dude.
Yeah.
What?
When he got sick, of course, it's like the weird part of it. He got sick from malaria in Japan. And so he was coming back from Japan. And I guess this is this photo of him in People's Magazine. Like him and like the ship like giving a thumbs up. Or like a helicopter or something giving a thumbs up. Maybe a ship or a helicopter. I don't know the whole thing. But the one story he told me that I'll never forget, and it's like sadly, it is one of the only stories I remember from. And he lived until I was probably 12 or 13. He was my grandpa, and he's actually my step-grandpa. He's my mom's stepdad.
Okay.
But he was my grandpa. Like, literally, when I was born, he was already married to my grandma. He helped raise me. My grandpa Langley, who is my mom's dad, he passed away when I was in high school, and never had a connection with him. Never did. And my mom really didn't either, because my grandpa Blue actually like helped raise my mom, because when they got married, my mom was still in high school or like grade school and all that shit. So the one story told me, like I said, it's kind of fucked up. So don't judge me by the story, guys. But it's a fucked up story. So he was like, yeah. I was like, so tell me a story. And I'm a young kid. I was like, so tell me a story about the war, Grandpa. He's like, yeah. So we're on the ship, boxing. What we had to do back in the days, we boxed for beer. So we
Damn,
would
those are manly men right there. That's how you know people fucking.
The story gets bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, so we would box for beer. On the ship, we could box for beer. He's like, so me and this guy, my turn to box, I want some beer really bad. And we're boxing, and I knock him the fuck out. And I get my 6-pack of beer, I go back to my cabin with my buds, and I drink this beer. And next week, I'm on the battlefield, and the dude's laying dead next to me. And he just started laughing.
What?
And how fucked up is that? He's like, yeah, the dude he knocked out, dead next to him.
That's crazy, dude.
And you know what's fucked up about this? Like, that's an American soldier with an American soldier, and he laughs about it. But you know what I think that is more of? Is like how fucked up war is. He's just like,
totally.
This dude I'm just like having a good boxing with. Because like they're probably really trying to beat the shit out of each other to get that beer. Because like that's like a prize.
Yeah.
In 1942, 1943, that's a fucking prize. You're in the war right now. But then you see the dude next to you dead. What can you do but laugh? Like, you're like, at least it's not me. Like, at least it's not me. And like, that's so fucked up. Like, looking at modern day standpoint, so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
But my grandpa sat there and laughed. And I think he laughed, and not like this is funny, this dude died. I think he laughed, he was like, it's not me. And like, what a weird coincidence. It's like, I'm on the fucking battlefield, and the person I look to my right, he's dead. And it's the dude I fucking knocked out for beer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and like, I'm a little kid, and like, and my grandpa's laughing. He's just like, ha ha ha, like, his little chain smoking tourney blues, just getting his laugh on. And I'm just like, damn, yeah, ha ha ha. And I'm like, and now like years later, that's the one story I've never forgotten. He's told me so many stories, but that's the one I can, like, when I think of my grandpa Blue, I think of that story. I'm like, what a fucked up time he lived in.
Right.
Or like he beat the shit
was
out
that was like natural. I mean, not natural.
No,
probably
but,
natural.
But like, think about like guys nowadays in war. Like PTSD is super big. And it was probably huge back then, but unfortunately, it wasn't looked at, and that's why he laughs about it.
Yeah,
like he's just laughing about, like, that's how he copes with it. Like, he's just like, yeah, dude, I fucking knocked down the ship dead next to me. Ha ha ha. Like, how do you fucking cope with that? They didn't have shit for you back then. They didn't have nothing, for you to go into a program to get some fucking mental help when after you in Japan fucking fighting. It's crazy. It's so crazy to me. And another funny story real quick. So another really messed up story. So my stepmom is Japanese. Mm-hmm. My grandpa was still alive when my dad remarried. So we had Ashton's quinceañera when she was 15. My grandpa was still alive. He was still doing good. So I think he had to pass away about 2 years after that. So Ashton probably had to be about 17 when he passed away because we were in Germany when he passed away. I'll get to that story here in a minute. I'm just telling a story
Yeah.
about him now.
Go on.
We were at the quinceañera. My dad told me this story. He went up to Marcus. My dad is Marcus, and he goes up to him and he goes, "Hey, looks like you got yourself a good one," because like he was in the Pacific fighting Japanese, and he was joking about it. But like he never hated Rena. He never hated, and he loved Sakura. It was weird because like he loved Sakura, and it wasn't even his grandchild. But that's how my Grandpa Blue was. He was such a fucking good guy, and that's why he is my grandpa. He's not my step grandpa. That is my grandpa. I have my Grandpa Langley too. He's my grandpa, but he's not my Grandpa Blue. My Grandpa Blue and my grandma are the number 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And my grandma's number 1. He's number 2, and he's a very goddamn close for number 1. Man, I love talking about him. I love bringing the memories up about him.
He's a really cool guy too.
Yeah,
For real.
no, he was great. It sucked though. So when he passed away, we were in Germany. Me, Ashton, and my dad, Rena, and Sakura were all in Germany. And I used to stay up really late because we had to take turns using the computer because that's when like internet wasn't big back then.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I could get a computer at night, so I'd like stay up all night long on the computer because like that's when I could have it, play a lot of RuneScape and stuff. And the phone rings randomly, and it has to be like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I answer it. It's my mom, and they had like a 1-800 number to call us like any time of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And she tells me she's crying because like my mom's dad was my grandpa. When her dad did pass away when I was in high school, she was very upset as well, but it wasn't the same. It was, Maury was always her dad, even though it wasn't her dad, it was her dad. Yeah, so I got the phone call, and talk about me getting phone calls because the Ashton story, I also get the phone call for that one. I get the phone call.
The dude that always picks
I
up.
guess I answer the phone, even though it's funny now. Maybe that's why nowadays I hate answering the phone. So like, even if you call me and I know who you are, I most likely will not answer it until you text me because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some bad news real quick.
Right.
No, but it's So they called us in Germany. It had to be 12, 1 o'clock at night. It was so late. I answered it. My mom's crying, and she goes, "Hey, Pa passed away." And we knew he was bad. He was in the home. He was doing real bad. And I had one chance to go see him, and I didn't go see him. I didn't want to.
What was your chance?
I could have gone, and I said no. Because he wasn't remembering anyone. And I was younger. I mean, I had to be 14. I was like, no, I don't. I don't think I want to. And I do the same thing almost with my grandma, but I do go see her once at the end. So, yeah, I get the phone call from my mom. My mom's crying. She's super upset, and of course. And then she tells me. And I was like, okay. I'll go tell Dad. I'll go tell my sister. And I didn't know how to react because, I was just kind of in shock. And also what's funny, though, is obviously my mom and my dad split really young. But my dad has always been extremely close with my mom's side. Like, when he passed away, that really affected my dad. When my grandma passed away, that extremely affected my dad. Like, they loved him just as much as my mom. Even after the divorce and everything, they loved him. Like, that didn't matter. It was, my dad was such ingrained in their family as my mom is ingrained in my Mexican side. My ma and my mom are such good friends. Like, it's a weird little thing. You don't see it a lot, and I think in divorced families, but yeah, it is huge in our family anyway. So yeah, I got the phone call. I remember I went and woke up my dad. I opened up the door and I shook him. I was like, "Hey, Pa died," and I didn't know how to react yet. I still hadn't cried or anything. I was like literally in shock. My dad goes, "What?" And I was just like, "Mom just called me. I guess Pa died," and my dad just like you could just tell he's just about to just lose it, and he goes, "How are you?" And I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to tell Ashton. That's all I said. I was like, I came and got you. I don't want to tell Ashton. And he goes, yeah, fine. He goes, you okay? I'm like, no, I don't think so. I don't know. Because I was just like in awe. I was just like, oh. And of course, I'm the one that gets the news. I got to go tell him. So my dad's like, all right, just go in the living room, sit. I'll get Ashton. I was like, okay. And he goes and wakes up Ashton. Ashton, loses it. And then Ashton comes out of the living room. We're sitting on the couch, and my dad's out there, and we just sit there and we just talk about him for like hours, like 2-3 hours. We're just sitting there talking about Pa. It was so cool. It was so cool because like we're literally 2,000 miles away, and we're just like talking about this dude who just passed away, who fought through World War II against Germany and Japan, and we're literally sitting in Germany talking about it.
Right.
Like what a weird
I
experience.
Can imagine how much like
He didn't fight Germany. He was actually in the Pacific. He fought against Japan, but and like my dad's wife is born and raised in Japan. My little half sister, is literally half Japanese. She's a dual citizenship to Japan, and like we're just sitting here just talking about this dude, and we're just having a good time. We're crying. I finally let it out. I'm crying. It was awesome, so much fun. It wasn't funny, obviously losing them, but and it sucked because we just got to Germany, probably like 2 weeks prior, a few weeks prior. And they were like, all right, how are we going to get Christian and Ashton back home and then come back to Germany? Because, like, we had the summers with my dad, and they wanted us to go home to see him, but then they realized that only one of us could probably go for money reasons and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we decided neither one of us will go. So neither one of us went back to his funeral. And that kills me to this day, but I get it. I understand it. But so then when my grandma passed away, we were here. I got the news, 30 minutes before we opened the store at 5th Street, because that's back when we only had 5th Street. And I just became a manager a couple, 4 or 5 months prior, and I got the news, 30 minutes prior to opening. I remember we opened, and Ton came in, and he's just like, "You all right?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "No." And he's like, "All right, just go. Just leave and come back when you can." I was like, "Okay." I think I walked around for 3 hours in the Skyway just crying. Yeah. People probably looked at me as what a weird homeless guy just crying in the Skyway. Right. Yeah, I just lost my grandma. And yeah, she was something else. She was something special, dude. She was so weird and crazy. But that's, I guess, getting back to the the point of the question I asked you originally. I think she shaped me. Yeah, is who I am, and I am very regretful for the last 2-3 years of her life because I didn't do her well, in my opinion. But prior to that, I think I did really well, and I think she did me really well. So prior to that, I was always with my grandma because we lived with her for a little while. We had some stints where we would get an apartment, but then we'd end back at her house because unfortunately we weren't doing too well. Mm-hmm. And just her sense of humor, her sense of everything was so great. And like I was saying, me and her would go thrift stores, flea markets. She'd find a little fucking toy where you pull the pants down, and a little dick would squirt water, and she'd buy that. She would all this kind of crap. She'd just buy the dumbest shit, and she's like, "Christian, check this one out," and it just cracked me up. And she would let me get away with everything. I just remember all the dumbest shit. Like Pokemon was out. I remember the one time she bought Ashton all these cards, and I was so mad she wouldn't bought me double the amount of cards. Just dumb stuff like that. But when she passed away, though, it sucked because I hadn't seen her. So for about 3 years, she started losing it. I went and visited her one time, only once, and it was with my dad. And me and my dad hadn't talked for a couple of years prior because we had some issues. And then finally we met back up. We kind of got over it. And we went and seen her together. And it made me so sad because she knew who my dad was instantly. Like I said, they always were so intertwined. Yeah. And she always knew my dad longer than me, obviously. But yeah, she knew my dad instantly. She's like, "Marcus." And she could barely remember anyone at this point. And she lost. She's like, "Marcus, oh my God, Marcus, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "I have you on the photo." She always remembered my dad because she had Alzheimer's. She was losing it, And she goes, "Man, how's Christian and Ashton doing?" And I'm literally sitting right there. And I was just like, okay, so this isn't the grandma I know anymore. And it was fine with me. It was hard to accept because I wasn't mad at her by any means. I knew she just didn't know who I was. And that's what's fucked up about them diseases. It's like, Grandma, I love you. And I remember my dad asked her right before we left. He was like, hey, can he get a photo with you? She goes, yeah. And we have this photo together, and she looks uncomfortable because she doesn't know who I am. And my dad asked for her, but so she was nice to my dad, and she was okay with that. And it broke my heart because, like, I did so much with my grandma.
Yeah.
Even when I got older, which was, like, a funny thing is, like, a lot of kids forget about their grandparents. My grandma meant so much to me. Once a month, there was a flea market held in Ohio, in Fremont. At the flea market is I think it's the first weekend of every month. There's a flea market out at the fairgrounds. Every month I picked my grandma up, me and her would go there every month until she started losing it. And then I didn't see her for like a year and a half. And then the last time, and then a year and a half, and then she passed away. Because I didn't want to see her like that. And it was. Because that lady literally shaped who I am today. I'm a cocky asshole. My grandma was a cocky lady. Like she was. She didn't put up with bullshit. I try not to. Yeah, she had her good days. She had her bad days. But she was never mean to me. And, man, she was a saint. She's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. And, yeah, I mean that. Like, yeah. It's fun talking about them. And I know I've been rambling for quite a while now. But it's fun. It's fun thinking about that.
You got to, it's always good to pay homage to those people who definitely, they shaped who you are today. Like, why not? Like, those are people in the very, like, prominent, pieces to your life. It's always good to celebrate and mention, like, this is who I am. This is why I am this person.
Yeah.
All that good shit. So
I think it's more fun, though, now that we're, like, doing a podcast and I can record me saying this so down the road, if I ever forget it, I can go look back and be like, that was my lady. Episode 9. Yeah.
9
and it's just even when I get older, like, yeah, I can, like, tell my kids, I don't know, dude, like, I could talk about it for all, fucking 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. I could talk about it all fucking day. She's awesome. And she shaped me who I am because, like, she probably didn't shape the anger issues I do have at times. Mm-hmm. She didn't shape the, I get annoyed really easily. I think that comes from my dad, unfortunately. And it's nothing against my dad. It's just kind of like they said, like father, like son. And I think I get them traits from him. But like my sense of humor, not letting things get to me to an extent, I guess you could say. Always making the fun out of the situation. Even people might take it too serious, but just don't take it too serious. Just have fun with everything. Like, just have fun.
Seriously.
Like, even with, like, in days, I would just be talking to her. She'd just be like, oh, okay, I don't care. And I was just like, okay, Grandma. So, like, she would just be so wild. And, like, she cared, but she's just like, yeah, we're going to have fun with that, whatever.
Yeah. Good shit, dude.
Yeah, miss her. I miss her a lot. She was great. Yeah, at least I did get to go back for hers. I wouldn't have missed hers anyway. If she would have passed away when we were in Germany, we all would have gone by. I think my dad would have gone back.
Yeah.
Because I remember. So, actually, now I think I got my stories a little confused. I think I had not talked to my dad for about a year or two after we seen my grandma. Because me and him had just personal issues with one another. It's more me than him. But we got raised in different lifestyles. But when she passed away, I remember I called him. And we were actually drinking at my house in Willow Street. And I was outside crying because I flew home. You wouldn't have been there. You would have been here in Minnesota. But because Greg was still living there. And I was outside. I remember I was crying, just losing it. And I called him. I was just like, I just don't know what to do. Like, because she was that important. She was that lady. And you know what really fucks me up? As a person, like, this is how I know, like, my emotions are fucking weird. And, like, I know I'm not, I don't know. I know I don't have a lot of sympathy, I guess, for certain little things. My dad's parents, my mom, my pa are still alive. Yeah. And when they pass away, I'm going to be sad. But it's not going to mean the same sad that when my pa and my grandma passed away. And maybe that's playing favorites and shit. Like, they were better to me growing up as my mom and my pa were. But you always see a lot of people, like, they have their grandparents. They love all their grandparents. They're so sweet. Oh, man, I only have one grandparent left. This sucks. Me, I have two grandparents left. And, when my mom, my pa die, I'm going to be super fucked up. Probably not super fucked up.
You're gonna be sad.
I'm going to be sad,
right?
but it's not, and I know it's not. I absolutely know it's not going to affect me the way it affected me with, like, my grandpa and my grandma. Like, it kills me that my daughter never got to meet my grandpa and my grandpa. She's met my mom, my pa,
Mhm.
but it kills me more. Like, yeah, you got to meet them, but I really wish you would have met them.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Because they shaped me to who I am today. I'm not great.
Yeah.
They weren't great either.
You want to meet, and then you created this life, Emma, and just like, man, I want to show you, like, I am because of these people, you
Yeah.
know.
See, that's what's crazy too. Like, when Emma gets older and she has, if she has kids one day, like, I'll be the grandpa to them kids, and I hope, like, they look back and they'll be like, man, so my grandpa, man, he was a wild little cat. Like, and they're just like telling me, like, this guy, I really wish you would have got to meet this guy, kids. Like, this guy was cool. He was wild, and man, he fucking could pit back some Keystone.
Keystone Light.
Yeah.
Keystone Light. Good shit, dude.
Yeah.
Where we at on time?
We're
Make
good.
sure I don't-
We're doing well. We got a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So sorry. I guess sorry for getting super deep
No,
on you.
no, get deep. People get deep.
Oh,
That's
man.
You know,
And
that's where we
I
are.
mean, that had to be like almost a 20-minute ramble by me. But it wasn't a ramble. It was the truth. It was just, that was probably the most realist podcast we've ever had. Like, just from the heart. Yeah. And I'm still just.
So I guess what would be the moral in that? You got someone close in your life. Make sure you spend as many moments as you can, especially if there's someone that you notice as having some effect in your life. But maybe I guess family in general, just because.
But see, I'm not a
Life's
big
too
family
short.
guy, which is sad, and I
Yeah.
know I'm not, and that's my fault.
Mm.
But I don't want to say I don't care, because I do care. When things happen, I get mad, but I don't put the effort out there.
To do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I feel like,
that's completely 100% the truth.
Do you feel like you should?
No.
No. I mean, that's to each his own. I guess.
And unfortunately, I actually don't think this is unfortunately. I think I got this from my uncle. Kind of what he said is like, hey, I have my own life. I have my own family. And I have what's going on. The most important people to me are the people that are my family, my boys, my kids. And yeah, I have my parents. But at the end of the day, who's most important to me? My kids.
Mhm.
My wife. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Like, the most important people to me in my life are Ashley and Emma. If something were to happen to them, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It's,
But, like, something to happen to my mom, yeah, of course it's going to fuck me up. My dad, yeah, it's going to get me. But the most important things in my life right now is my daughter and my girl. I want to make sure everything I can do for them is right. So that's what I look at, and that's why I think it's fucked up. Because, like, do I talk to my mom enough with Emma? Probably not, no. But also, I think that comes from her. If she wants to talk to Emma more, then just fucking FaceTime me all the time. Like, if you want to see her, FaceTime me, I'll answer. But I'm not going to FaceTime you. And that's my fault for not caring enough. But I guess that's the way I kind of was raised. Because, like, look at Ashley's parents. They FaceTime Emma every day.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with it.
And they FaceTime Ashley a lot too.
Every day. Every day. It's not every day. My dad's the second best, but I don't FaceTime him. I don't FaceTime Ashton. I don't FaceTime my mom. And they act like they can't see her, but literally, just call. Like, So I guess the only other thing I got to tell, I feel like you've barely talked this whole
Yeah.
two
I just let
podcasts.
you ramble on, which is good.
I don't think it was
Yeah,
a ramble, though. This was, I think, a good conversation.
No,
for us.
I mean, like,
It was
rambles can be good conversations. I let you just go ahead and take what you had to say, and you said it.
I said
That was
for
good.
like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I feel bad, though. Like, I do feel bad for, like, kind of eating up all that time. But it was what I guess I wanted to talk about,
You had something on your chest, let it out. And that's,
It wasn't even on my chest. It brought up a lot of memories. It made me feel good.
yeah. Well,
The only thing, though, was I think I brought up was about my sister. and the other phone call.
Yeah.
So I got the phone call about my grandpa passing, and then I got the phone call about Ashton. So yeah, my sister, unfortunately, I think it was either 7th or 8th grade or 6th and 7th grade. I think maybe 7th and 8th graders. Back in the day at St. Anne's, there was this trip they would do. It was like a camping trip. They'd go away for the weekend, go to like a campgrounds, like a far away, and it'd be like fun. You know, you go through
like a summer camp, you said?
No, because it's in the middle of the school year. It was like a retreat for the Catholic school. I don't know. They did it. It was like they're like a kind of reward for being the little classmen. You get to go kind of do this fun thing.
Yeah.
You still get to learn a little bit, but you also get to have some fun.
Yeah.
So they went to that, and my sister ruined that for us because we didn't get to do that after her incident.
Damn.
We the best we got to do was we got to go to a science museum in Cleveland and sleep on the floor and watch the stars all night. That's what we got to do. Thanks, Ashton. Yeah, I mean, at least she's still alive. So yeah, she went down a slide, and how dumb is it that you have a water slide that's made of metal?
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's just bound for disaster at some point. So Ashton went down, smashed her head on the thing. She was okay afterwards, right? But she didn't feel great. So then they went on a bike trail because they took their bikes and went on a bike trail. And while my sister was biking on the bike trail, passed out. Literally fell off her bike, passed out.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Yeah, up, down, gone. So then she was biking with like 2 other girls. They get a teacher. They had to call an emergency life flight to come get my sister out of this camp. They take her to Toledo or Dayton or Akron, somewhere. They take her somewhere far. It had to be south. So I think Akron south. No, Dayton south. Dayton's down south. So they take her to Dayton, emergency surgery. My sister dies for a little while. They get her back. Blood clot through her head. All this crazy shit. She had a blood clot in her brain from smashing her head. So she passed away, comes back. So then I get a phone call. I just got home. My grandma's not home. I don't even know if my grandpa's home. Like, I just got home by myself. I was staying at my grandparents'. My mom's in New York City. She's on a trip. I'm just staying with my grandparents. I'm home by myself. I get a phone call.
Of course.
Yeah. And I get a phone call from one of the teachers who goes, hi, is, blah, blah, blah there? I said, no, this is Christian. Blah, 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 they're not here yet. And he goes, okay. I just want to tell you, it's just been an accident. Can you please call us back right away when your grandma or grandpa gets there, or your mom, whatever. I was like, okay, yeah. My grandma shows up I don't want to say 10, 15 minutes later. So, hey, got this phone number. They called, said something happened to Ashton. And my grandma was just like, what? Okay, call him back. My grandma just is like, what the fuck? She's not happy.
Yeah.
She's mad. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? And she goes, are you serious? All right. So then my pa gets home. And he's just like, what the hell is going on? Blah, blah, blah. They're all yelling at each other. But they're yelling at each other because they're scared. They're worried about Ashton.
Of course.
They're not yelling at each other because they're mad at each other. They're just like, what the fuck's going on? And I'm like, what's going on? Your sister's been in a bad accident.
Damn.
It's bad. We got to get, someone's going to go down to Dayton tonight. We got to get a hold of your mom. Well, cell phones aren't big back then. So they call the hotel. This is that. And then eventually my grandma gets the news yeah, she's going into emergency surgery. It's very bad. My grandma calls my mom, my pa. Everyone's involved. Very, very intense. My dad is in Japan. This is super intense.
Damn, dude.
So Ashton is literally going into emergency surgery. My mom's in New York. My dad's in Japan. I'm in Ohio. My sister's in Ohio. My parents. I'm just with my grandparents. So I'm outside just singing along. I just know something bad's happening. So my grandma comes.
How old were you again?
I had to be, I think, 4th grade. 3rd or 4th grade.
Damn.
So 9 or 10. My grandma comes and tells me, goes, Christian, your sister got hurt really bad, and we don't know what's gonna happen. And just go play outside if you want to, but we're trying to get parents. But you're probably gonna go down to Dayton tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay." I was like, I don't know. But I this is the weirdest thing I remember from that. So I remember playing out. There's this little swing set in the backyard of my grandparents' house. It wasn't even their backyard. It was this other people's backyard, but we could go play on it all the time. I just remember sitting there swinging and like singing songs about my sister, like making sure she was all right. And I, honest God, I really think I was like singing like Creed songs.
What arms
Yeah,
wide
but like in a
open.
positive way for my sister, because like
With arms wide open.
it kind of like hit me that like, yeah, this is like super serious, but at the same time I was just like, oh yeah, it's super serious, but like, you
At
know.
least you're singing songs, you know.
Yeah,
Put
but
that
I
positive
had a
energy out
positive
there.
thought in my head, and I always remember that. So then it gets worse though. So they had been trying to contact my dad or my mom and everything. They got a hold of my dad, and he's in Japan. So no one can get a hold of my mom. She's like out with my aunts. They're in New York City to go see Savage Garden and shit.
Mm.
They're just out there to have a good like 3-day weekend. So that night, my grandma's like kind of like fried. And so she's like kind of staying up, trying to like, you know, chain smoking, turny blues, just kind of trying to stay up and just like make sure she can figure everything out for the next day. And then my grandpa goes, "Just come to bed with me. Let's go lay down." Cause like I don't really know what's going on, but I'm also like I'm aware of the situation where I don't really want to go to bed. So my grandpa's like, "All right, just come lay down. You can sleep with me tonight." And I'm like, all right, Pa, let's just go lay down. And then of course the phone fucking rings again, and my Pa answers, and we're up in the bedroom. There's the phone in the bedroom, and he answers it, and it's my mom. My mom just gets messages, has not talked to anyone for like 10 hours, and Ashton's already been in surgery. We don't know what the fuck's going on. My mom calls my grandpa, losing her fucking mind. I can hear my mom on the other phone, on the other end, just screaming, "Wow, yeah, like what is going on?" Blah blah blah. And my pa is trying to keep his composure. He starts crying. He's like, because like everyone knows the situation is bad, but I don't know it's that bad. Because like I'm a kid. They're not trying to tell me. They're trying to make me like, feel okay. My pa's like, yeah, she's in surgery. Like, a pa and them are going down there tomorrow. My dad is flying in an overnight flight from Japan. So,
That's crazy.
yeah, it's like the end of the fucking world. Like, we thought my sister was going to die. So, and I don't know that. I don't know what's going on. I'm just a kid. I have no idea. I know it's bad. I know everything is bad. My grandma's not coming to bed with us. She's staying awake, smoking turny blues. Fucking my pa's talking to my mom. My mom is literally losing her goddamn mind on the phone. I know it's bad. This is really bad. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, no, we'll see Ashton in like a week. You know, it's bad. You know, because you don't fucking know when you're a kid.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's crying. She's crying. I'm sitting in the bed like, oh shit. Like, okay, I guess it's bad. But I don't know. You know, I don't really know about death then. I'm a little kid. So the next day, we eventually go to bed. He gets off the phone. My mom's taking an emergency flight from New York City down to like Dayton. My dad's flying in literally from Japan. What was it, like a fucking 14-hour flight? He's already on a plane. Like within hours, my dad's already on a plane. From the initial phone call I got, my dad's already on a plane. So he's already been flying. So the next morning, my Uncle Brad, I think, and my pa picked me up. And they're like, all right, we're going to Dayton, pick your dad up, and then we're going to the hospital. I was like, oh, shit.
Damn.
So I was like, so I'm just randomly going down this shit now. I don't know what's going on.
You just got dragged in. Like,
yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, this is stupid. Like, why am I getting dragged in all this? And so then we're down in an airport. All of a sudden, my dad's home. Like, I didn't know when my dad's home, like, out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, this is weird. And I know this is fucked up. Like, I obviously understand at this point, okay, Ashton's fucked up. My dad's home. Like, this is bad. But, like, you know, like I said, you're a kid. You don't think about death. So, yeah, then we're at the hospital. And I think my mom gets in a little bit later that day. So we're all in the hospital. And it's bad. Ashton's going in for another surgery. And not like the shit, bunch of surgeries. Going in for another one. And we slept in the waiting room that day. My dad put couches together for me to sleep. It was a mess. Like, this is crazy. Like, you're in there because your kids may or may not make it through the night. Like, it's insane. And then the next day, I'm like playing in like the ER, like kids' room, just having fun with all these kids that are sick and shit. Like, I'm just being this kid, I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then finally, I get to see my sister for the first time in 3 days after all this shit happens. And I see Ashton, and Ashton, she's back to, she's survived the surgeries. She did pass away for a little bit, but she survived. I see my sister, her like eyes half out of her fucking socket. Yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess.
I hate hospitals. Hospitals are sketchy. Dude.
Oh, the worst thing.
The worst thing? The churches and the hospitals that they have in there sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Even sketchier because it's just a dark ass fucking
little room. And you ever been
they
there?
They still have the stained glass still somehow.
I'm and like, have you ever been in one where you saw people in there?
No, I've just like I popped in. I'm just like,
I've done that. I just walked by and I saw people in there. I was just like, oh shit, like someone's going bye.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. Obviously, the long term, she made it. She lived. She's crazy, but she's weird, and I love my sister to death. She's awesome. But yeah, that was crazy. That was a crazy couple days, and we ended up staying down there, Dayton for like a week or two. We had to stay at the Ron McDonald House, and so we support that shit. Even though McDonald's is kind of a corrupt corporation, but they gave us a place to stay when we were down there for free, and
you can't beat that.
No, but how wild of a trip that fucking was and shit. But
I can imagine being so young, and I guess. The closest thing I've seen in that, like, I guess I had my grandpa pass away, and I was like really young, and it was just one of those things, like, I don't know what I don't know how to feel about this, or like, I know adults around me are panicking, but I just don't know, like, what's going on.
Because you don't understand the whole situation.
Exactly.
Because like literally, I was literally in like the kids' room at the fucking hospital, playing with other sick kids. I won't forget this. This kid had a heart condition. We're like running around playing. He just stopped. And he's like, "Oh, I can't keep going." And I was like, "Okay, what's wrong?" He goes,
"Keep on."
Well, he's like in his guys like my heart thing, and I was like, "Well, what the fuck? Like, you can't keep playing. What the hell's going on, dude?
You can't play tag, dude." I saw what was it? Something popped in my head. What was it? Is Ashton a model now or something? I saw some photos.
No,
somewhere.
she just did them for fun.
Oh, really?
Because of her friend. Yeah, they're really nice photos.
They were really good.
Yeah, they were really good photos of her. Yeah.
Good for her. Yeah.
Not taking this as an unknown, I can cut this all out, but the only other thing that like freaked me out later in life was with your brother.
Yeah.
Like a hospital story, I guess while we're on the topic. We don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
No, I mean, it's really
but
nothing.
Man, that freaked me the fuck out because I was fucking boom.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think with that, because it was how they put it into, it was, I don't know if it was like a panic at the hospital, but it was, they said, he had a disease on his leg specifically.
Like gangrene or some shit, or?
I don't even know the
gangrene
disease.
would be, like, I imagine they're changing his socks, so.
Yeah.
So can I give a little backstory real quick?
Yeah.
Like I guess you could do better, but your brother is handicapped.
Yeah, autistic.
Yep.
Yeah.
And well, you could tell, and I could tell the rest of the story because, like, that day, because I mean, the morning. The reason why the story's crazy is because I get woken up by a phone call from your dad.
Yeah, because we were out partying for whatever night. Of course,
we're in Owens, where I went to college, and we're up in Owens partying.
Yeah, and
I never woke up so fast in my life, and until this day, it's never happened.
Mm-hmm. And we had a nice little night of partying. And I just remember I was just sleeping, and then like you came downstairs like, dude, James, we gotta go. I'm like, what's going on?
I said, get the fuck in my car. Yeah. We're going now to the hospital.
Yeah, and I was like, what's going on? He's like, dude, your dad called. It's about your brother. And I was like, shit, man. So I was
I'm like
worse.
Probably drunk still.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, no, get the fuck in the car. We're going now.
Mm-hmm.
like
yeah.
I never woke up. Yeah, well, of course. But like, I can't even remember. I won't forget that. I remember just sleeping. My phone's ringing. I'm like, who the fuck is calling me? I was so mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I answer the phone. Your dad's just like, hey, Christian, this is you? And he's like, yeah, I've been trying to call James. His brother's in the hospital. And you guys get here. We're up near Toledo where you guys are at. Just get James up and get him here right now. And I said, okay. I was just like, okay. That was it. Like, I'm like shit-faced drunk, probably still in the morning. It's probably like 9, 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
I'm
too
like,
fucking early, dude.
yeah, too fucking early. And I'm just like, okay. It was the easiest like wake-up call I ever got in my life. I was like, yeah. And I just threw on clothes. It was like, boom, boom, boom. I think we had other people in the house still.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
We
just
did.
like,
We did.
James, get the fuck up. And I wasn't even nice about it. And yeah, like you said, you're just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, your brother's in the hospital. We got to fucking go now. Get the fuck up and get in the car. Let's go. Yeah, and we went.
I was thinking the worst. Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
So
like,
did
this
I,
might
because
go-
like your dad called me, because obviously couldn't get hold of you, but like your dad made it, sound like the worst, because like we had a rush.
Yeah, we get there and then I forgot what it was. My brother has like a history of seizures, right? He's epileptic, and he would get them occasionally, and sometimes like super rough, and depending on like seasons and stuff, there's a lot of variables that go into like how the effect of his seizures are and how long they last and all that good stuff. So I was just like, okay, so I wonder if he just had a really bad seizure, and this one was just like super bad, and all these things were going wrong. So I get there, and it was long ago, and some of the stuff is faded, but I just remember I get there.
I just remember us getting there, and we finally get up to the room, and then I leave you, and I just go sit in the waiting room.
Okay, and then from there I get in there. I was like, what's going on? And Isaiah, my brother, he had a really like a long seizure. Like it was like a 2-3 minute seizure, and it was just like they were thinking that it's just like, dang, usually people don't survive after this stuff. And the doctor was talking, going through the stuff, and he was just like, thankfully, from diagnosis, he's going to be fine, moving forward. He just had to have like an up on his medication. I think he takes something that starts with a Z, but it helps prevent seizures and all that good stuff. But it was really bad, I think my dad, probably called out a shock, and then just.
Oh, for sure, but
yeah.
I mean, you always gotta be careful, no matter what.
Of course, like if that could have been the last time I saw my brother, it's like of course I wouldn't be there, and like make sure that thankfully he didn't, nothing fatal happened, but yeah, it was
a crazy morning. Then we ate at the cafeteria.
Yeah,
that's
what I remember. Yeah, we got our vouchers.
It wasn't that bad.
And then we saw a play later that night too.
Did we really?
Yeah, we did. We saw a play.
Where did we go? St. Joe's, St. Joe play.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking day that ended up being.
I know.
And I'm happy your brother's still doing good. He's still kicking around and just doing great.
Yeah, I mean it was just so weird because like it was just like, oh shit, because you go in there and I'm just like, fuck, dude, this like is something crazy. Like, this is the last time I see my brother. And then I get there and he's like, nah, it's fine. I'm like, well, fucking
your little brother's probably
dude.
fucking with you. He's just like, I'm fine.
Yeah,
So
I'm just like, dude, you can't be doing that to me, man. But
especially after a night of drinking. Come on, Isaiah.
Yeah.
Is that Isaiah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm happy I said it right.
Yeah.
How's your brother doing now?
He's doing good. He's getting bigger. I guess he's getting a little chunkier now.
That's what. Yeah, I think the last time we brought him over, that's what you were saying. He's getting a little chunkier.
Yeah.
Eating his food.
And it still is weird because he's old. He's like 24, and he's still getting taller somehow. And I don't know how that is.
Eventually, one day you're gonna come home. He's gonna knock your ass out.
I'll get him.
No,
I'll
he's
fuck him
gonna
up.
get you. He's gonna do that little brother mentality. One day he's gonna knock your ass out.
Oh, I'll fuck him up. I'll fuck him up. There's no way. He's not getting big, bro.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah,
that time?
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Nice
Well, I think
podcast.
this is a very good podcast.
Yeah, that was your
and-
podcast towards the end.
Well,
But
we had you at the beginning for a little bit.
what did we talk about? I don't even remember.
Who affects you most in life? And then I
Oh,
went on a good 30-minute rant on myself because,
Yeah.
I'm a selfish prick, I guess. But
Yeah,
I think
you
it was
just
just
like to
all
talk.
around.
That was good. I was like, I'm going to let you tell your story because that was nice, dude.
Yeah, that was good all
shit.
around. And thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you guys appreciate this podcast. Yeah, sometimes they might be weird and funny and weird, but I guess sometimes we'll get real on your ass.
Oh, wait. Dick, pussy, cock.
There you go. Now we're raunchy. And
Now we're witty.
Yeah, witty and funny. So thank you guys so much for listening, and I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And make sure to subscribe
Thanks, guys.
to the podcast. Please make sure to follow us on Casual C Station on Twitter, our Casual Conversation Station on Facebook.
And Instagram just made Dim niggas at Casual Conversation Station.
Yeah, that's not the name. Have a good weekend.
Oh, yeah.
And
Enjoy
we
it.
love you
Wait, no.
guys.
Yeah. Enjoy everything. Enjoy life. Life is good.